My name is Selena Torres, and I'm going to tell you about the night my marriage ended at the most expensive restaurant in the city. So, Marcus, how does it feel being married to such an ambitious woman? Thomas Whitmore asked, swirling his wine glass with a smirk. My husband laughed, that cold, bitter laugh I'd been hearing more often lately. Ambitious? That's one way to put it. I set down my fork. What's that supposed to mean? Marcus turned to me, his eyes gleaming with something cruel. Come on, Selena. You've been so busy with your little consulting business that you barely remember you have a husband. Little? I kept my voice steady. My business brought in $300,000 last year. Which you wouldn't have without my connections, Marcus shot back. Let's be honest. I introduced you to half your clients. I'm basically your unpaid marketing team. Thomas's wife, Patricia, shifted uncomfortably. Maybe we should order dessert? No, let's not change the subject, Marcus continued. My wife thinks she's some kind of business mogul, but without me, she'd still be working some dead-end job, probably serving tables. I felt my face flush. I was a senior analyst at Morrison Financial before we met. And now you're a consultant who works from home in yoga pants, Marcus said, and Thomas laughed. Real professional, honey. Marcus, that's enough, I said quietly. Is it, though? He leaned back, confident now. I mean, you're always talking about your empire and your vision, but at the end of the day, you're just my wife with a hobby that I allow you to pursue. Allow me? I stood up, my hands trembling. You allow me? Selena, sit down. You're making a scene, Marcus hissed. No, you made a scene when you decided to humiliate me in front of your friends, I replied. And for the record, I don't need your permission for anything. I grabbed my purse and walked out, leaving Marcus calling after me. 3 days later, my best friend Rachel showed up at my door with her laptop. Selena, you need to see this, she said, her face pale. What is it? My cousin works at Sterling Bank. She saw something concerning and asked me to tell you. Rachel opened her laptop. Marcus has been moving money. A lot of money. From your joint accounts, from the business account, everything. My stomach dropped. What? How much? Almost $200,000 over the past 6 months, Rachel said. And there's more. He's been meeting with lawyers. I think he's planning to divorce you and claim your business as a marital asset. But the business is mine. I built it before we married. I know, but he's been documenting everything, keeping records of how he helped you, emails where he gives you advice, client introductions, Rachel explained. Selena, I think the dinner was part of it. He was establishing a narrative in front of witnesses that he's been instrumental to your success. I felt sick. He set me up. Yes, and from what my cousin could see, he's planning to file next week. I took a deep breath. Then we file first, and we make sure he doesn't get a single penny he didn't earn. The next morning, I sat across from David Chen, the best divorce attorney in the state. Mrs. Torres, tell me everything, David said. My husband has been systematically preparing to divorce me and steal my business, I began. He's been draining accounts and building a false narrative that he's responsible for my company's success. How long have you been married? 3 years, but my consulting firm, Torres Strategic Solutions, was established 2 years before we met. I have all the incorporation documents. David nodded. That's good. What about these account transfers? I brought bank statements, I said, sliding a folder across his desk. Rachel helped me compile 6 months of unusual activity. David studied the documents. This is embezzlement. Has he been accessing your business accounts? He had signing authority. I added him after we married because he said it would make accounting easier. I trusted him. The fact that he used his authority to steal from a business he had no ownership in strengthens your case, David explained. What about the dinner witnesses? Thomas and Patricia Whitmore, Marcus's college friends. They'll probably testify for him. Let them. His public humiliation of you actually establishes emotional abuse and demonstrates his lack of respect for your professional accomplishments. It helps us, not him. I leaned forward. What do we do first? First, we freeze all accounts he has access to. Second, we file for divorce before he does. Third, we document everything. Texts, emails, financial records, witness statements. Can you get me a list of clients you secured without his involvement? 70% of my clients came from my own networking, I said. I have the original contact records and proposals. Perfect. Now, we're going to let Marcus think he's still in control. Don't tell him you know about the money. Don't tell him you've hired an attorney. Can you do that? Yes, I replied firmly. Document every interaction with Marcus. If he tries to talk about the business or finances, record it. Washington is a two-party consent state, so tell him you're recording. Most people don't think clearly when they're angry, and he'll likely say something incriminating. What about my business? Can he really claim part of it? Given that it was established before marriage, and he has no ownership stake, probably not. However, David's expression hardened. The embezzlement changes everything. If he stole from your business, he forfeits any claims. We just need to prove it. How? I'm bringing in Melissa Rodriguez, a forensic accountant. She'll trace every penny. Can you get me access to all business records? Everything's backed up on cloud storage. I'll send you the login credentials. David made a note. Good. One more thing. Stay strong, Selena. Men like Marcus count on their wives being too embarrassed or broken to fight back. But you're not broken, are you? No, I said. I'm furious. Good. Fury gets results when channeled properly. Go home, act normal, and let me handle the legal groundwork. We're going to destroy his case before he even files it. 2 weeks later, Marcus came home to find me sitting in the living room with David, Melissa the forensic accountant, and 2 police officers. What the hell is going on? Marcus demanded. Mr. Torres, I'm attorney David Chen, representing your wife in divorce proceedings, David said calmly. These officers are here regarding the embezzlement charges Mrs. Torres is filing against you. Marcus's face went white. Embezzlement? Selena, what are you talking about? The $200,000 you've been transferring from our accounts, I said evenly. Did you really think I wouldn't notice? Those were loans, for investments, Marcus stammered. Investments in what, exactly? Melissa spoke up. According to my forensic analysis, that money went into a private account under your name alone. An account established 6 months ago with clear intent to hide marital assets. You can't prove that, Marcus said, but his voice wavered. David opened a folder. Actually, we can. We have bank records, transfer authorizations with your signature, and emails between you and your attorney discussing how to minimize Selena's claim to marital assets. You were planning this for months. I helped build her business. You deserve nothing, I interrupted. I've compiled a complete record of every client I've ever acquired. 73% came from my own outreach. The remaining 27% came through industry conferences I attended alone. You introduced me to exactly 3 clients, Marcus. 3 out of 48. Marcus turned to me, pleading. Selena, we can work this out. We don't need lawyers. No, we really do. Because you're not just facing divorce, Marcus. You're facing criminal charges, David interjected. Embezzling from a business account you were given access to in good faith is fraud. The district attorney is very interested in your case. One of the officers stepped forward. Mr. Torres, we need you to come with us for questioning. This is ridiculous, Marcus shouted. Selena, tell them. Tell them I was just managing our money. Our money? I stood up. Marcus, you took money from my business. A business I built myself. A business you mocked in front of your friends. You called it a hobby. So why would you steal from a hobby? I wasn't stealing. I was securing our future. By hiding money in a secret account? By planning to divorce me and claim my business as your own? My voice was hard now. I know everything, Marcus. Your lawyer's emails, your meetings with Thomas about how to put me in my place, all of it. Marcus's face crumbled. Those emails were taken out of context. Were they? Because in one email, you explicitly stated that you needed to establish dominance and make sure I understood my business success was really your success. That luxury dinner wasn't just cruelty, Marcus. It was evidence building. Mrs. Torres found additional evidence, Melissa added. Text messages to your brother discussing how you plan to take everything she has after the divorce. You were quite detailed. Mr. Torres, we really need to go, the officer said firmly. Selena, please. We can fix this. I'm sorry about the dinner. I was just stressed. No, I said simply. You're not sorry you did it. You're sorry you got caught. As they led Marcus out in handcuffs, he kept turning back, trying to catch my eye. But I was done looking at him. 6 months later, I walked into David's office, where Rachel was already waiting. Selena, how are you? Rachel jumped up and hugged me. I'm good. Really good, actually, I said, sitting down. David smiled broadly. I have excellent news. The judge signed off on everything this morning. It's officially over. Tell me everything, I said. Marcus pled guilty to embezzlement and fraud. He's been sentenced to 4 years in state prison, David explained. Rachel gasped. 4 years? The judge didn't go easy because of the premeditation. Marcus spent months planning to steal from you, David continued. He'll serve at least 3 years before he's eligible for parole. What about the money? I asked. Full restitution. $200,000 plus interest. $236,000 total. He's required to pay it back in full. He doesn't have any assets, I said. Actually, he does. Marcus had been hiding money in cryptocurrency accounts and an offshore fund. We've frozen everything. Between those accounts and the sale of his car and other property, we'll recover about 90%. Rachel shook her head. He really thought he'd get away with it. Most criminals do, David replied. Now, for the divorce. Selena, you got everything. The house is yours, Torres Strategic Solutions remains entirely your property, and the divorce is finalized with prejudice. What does with prejudice mean? Rachel asked. It means he can never refile or make future claims against Selena or her business. It's permanent, David explained. I felt something loosen in my chest. So he can't come back? Never. And because of his criminal conviction, Marcus is permanently barred from serving on corporate boards or managing anyone else's finances. His career is over. Good, I said firmly. He tried to destroy mine. He deserves to lose his. Rachel squeezed my hand. How do you feel? Relieved. Vindicated. Free, I answered. For months, Marcus made me doubt myself. He made me feel like everything I accomplished was because of him. But now I know the truth. I built this business myself. More than that, David added. Your business has grown since the divorce proceedings started. You're up 40% in revenue? 43%, I corrected with a smile. Turns out, when you're not being emotionally manipulated every day, you have a lot more energy to focus on success. I knew you'd bounce back, Rachel said, but not this hard. I signed 5 new clients in 3 months. 2 specifically mentioned they admired how I handled the situation with Marcus. One told me she'd been in a similar situation, and seeing me fight back inspired her to take legal action too. David nodded. That's the thing about standing up to people like Marcus. You're not just helping yourself. You're showing others they don't have to be victims either. Speaking of which, Rachel interjected, have you heard from Marcus? His mother called last week. She wanted me to drop the criminal charges and show mercy because Marcus made a mistake. I told her that stealing $200,000 isn't a mistake. It's a calculated crime. She hung up on me.
Good for you, David said. Never apologize for protecting yourself and your business.
Marcus tried to call me from jail yesterday. He left a voicemail saying he was sorry, that he never meant to hurt me, and hoped we could still be friends after he got out. He actually used the word friends.
What did you do?
David asked. I deleted it. Then I blocked his number. Marcus doesn't get to rewrite history. He doesn't get to pretend this was some misunderstanding.
Exactly right, David confirmed. People like Marcus always want reconciliation because it absolves them of guilt. But you don't owe him forgiveness, Selena. You don't owe him anything.
I know, and I'm not giving it to him, I said firmly. What he did wasn't just about money. He tried to make me feel worthless. He tried to steal my identity as a business owner. That luxury dinner where he humiliated me, that was him trying to break me down. Rachel looked at me intently. But he didn't break you. No, he made me stronger. Every insult, every lie, every dollar he stole, it all became fuel for me to fight harder and build bigger. I smiled. Torres Strategic Solutions just signed a contract with a Fortune 500 company. Marcus always said I'd never land major corporate clients. Guess he was wrong.
How does it feel? David asked, knowing that you won completely.
It feels like justice, I said. Not revenge, justice. I got my business back, my reputation back, my life back. And Marcus is facing real consequences. That's what matters.
You did this the right way, David agreed. You gathered evidence, worked with professionals,
followed the legal process. That's how you win.
Rachel grinned. So what's next for Torres Strategic Solutions? Actually, I'm expanding. I'm hiring 2 new consultants and opening a second office in Portland. The empire Marcus envied? It's about to get a lot bigger.
That's incredible, Rachel said.
And it's all mine, I replied. Every client, every dollar, every success. Mine because I earned it. Marcus doesn't get to take credit anymore. He's in prison, and I'm building an empire. David stood and extended his hand. Congratulations, Selena. You fought hard, and you won. I shook his hand. Thank you, David, for everything. As Rachel and I left the office, she linked her arm through mine. I'm so proud of you. You walked away from that dinner thinking your life was falling apart. And instead, it was the beginning of everything falling into place, I finished. That night, Marcus showed me exactly who he was. He gave me the push I needed to stop doubting myself. The best revenge really is living well, Rachel said. And winning legally, I added with a smile. I turned to face forward. Have you ever had someone try to take credit for your hard work? Someone who tried to make you feel small so they could feel big? What would you do if your partner mocked everything you built and then tried to steal it? Like and subscribe for more stories about people who refused to be victims and fought back the right way.